Okay, hey guys, we're back. Part three in our four-part series about feeling the feels. So, if you haven't already, let us know what's been coming up for you. We want to know what you're feeling now because now you've got a name for them, right? So, are you excited? Right. Are you sad that we've only got one left, right? Tell us what's going on. So, yes, we'd love to hear from you. And we also want to leave you with this today, this idea that feelings are neither good nor bad. Right? That lovely amorphous, like it's neither good nor bad. It is what it is. So Liv, tell us more about that. Why is that true?
Well, the main reason is because they're part of who you are. They're your personal, unrepeatable human experience. Nobody else is having your feelings right now as you're watching this video. They might be feeling something similar, but they're not feeling your feelings. Your feelings are like your fingerprints, and they're the way you get to experience going through life. And I have just a huge passion for people to be able to accept their feelings and be encouraged that they're not good or bad. They are feelings. They're like, are your fingerprints good or bad? Like, no, nobody would ever say like, oh, I have a real wonky fingerprint here. And it's, like nobody does that. And feelings are that way, but we absorb lots of information as we go through life that says, no, don't feel that. No, don't feel that. No, it's not a good time. No, they didn't mean that or whatever. But once we get to accept our feelings as they are, that's us accepting ourselves.
Yeah. So tell us about the gift in the feelings.
The gifts and the feelings. So this is something that I have been continually learning and going deeper into. So I grew up learning that anger was bad. Period. End of story. Don't be angry. Right? Like I grew up in a kind of a patriarchal Christian system, and the whole thing was like never be angry. Anger is bad. And so what I've been learning the last several years is anger is actually desire. Anger is connected to passion. Anger is connected to movement. Anger, if you think of anger, is fire can be good or bad. Fire can, I don't mean good or bad. I mean, fire can bring change.
It can burn
or destruction.
Or it can heal. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And so kind of that same idea with anger, that it leads us to discover our own hearts, what we're most passionate about. And then we get to connect. Once we're connected to our own anger and our passion, then we get to do that with other people, right?
Yeah.
That's what I said just a minute ago. I'm passionate about encouraging people to accept their feelings because that's accepting themselves. And that's what I needed a long time ago, and I still need today. So, there's a gift in hurt that once we feel our hurt, we are we're healed and we have courage to keep going. But as long as we're packing that hurt in there and not acknowledging it, not accepting it, it's leading us to resentment. And so, we have these choices with the feelings. When we choose to accept them and feel them, there's always a gift involved. And it usually is a gift of relationship, a deeper relationship with ourselves and with others. So
I remember it was in the first video we made, and it was the first thought I had too. When you shared the 8 feelings, you were saying there's only one. Initially, you might think there's only one good one. And here's the other thing too. I remember you saying this. It's really stuck with me. Is that glad? The true meaning of glad, right? We can often think that glad or joy, that when that happens, everything's okay, right? It means that it's the absence of the rest of them equals glad. We kind of have that thought. And actually, the glad is when I'm allowing myself to feel everything else. And when I'm allowing myself to be open to the full range is when I can actually feel the joy and the gladness. And there's so much more in that, but we'll leave it at that. But I just want to, full range, let's touch on that. So we're going to borrow from Brene Brown for a second here, but she speaks something that's so profound, is that when we try to numb one, we numb all. So Liv, what's been your experience with that?
Oh my goodness. For the longest time, I just did not allow myself to feel sadness or grief. Right. And so I controlled myself, and I controlled my environment, and I deprived. So I practiced borderline anorexia, and I deprived myself not just of food, but I deprived myself of my own emotions. And when I deprived myself of feeling the sadness and feeling the grief of just what was happening in my life, like there are things that happen in life that are sad and tragic. I had a glass ceiling on my gladness, and I would go to celebrations, but feel like part of me wasn't even there.
Yeah.
And that was because I was really busy trying to control the other, the feeling that I had assessed as bad. I had assessed my sadness and my grief as bad, and so I shut that down, and then that equally shut down my gladness
and your joy. Yeah. So another good reason to feel all the feels, the full range, not to judge them. They each serve a purpose. And we started to talk about, we used a couple of examples of the two sides of the coin of each feeling, but each feeling has two sides. So again, we'll put a link in below where we can get more information about that, because again, that's so helpful to connect you to your true you, to say, well, what is my true you actually desiring here if I'm angry, right? What is my true you really value when I'm feeling lost? Once you can start to know that, you get to know more about yourself and what works in your life and what you need more of and all that good stuff. So more to come there. And we've got one video left for you, and it's going to be a really fun one. We're going to be connecting into this with our bodies. So stay tuned for that. We've got some fun stuff planned, and we really hope this has been helping you. Let us know. We'd love to hear your thoughts and your feedback, and lots of love. We'll catch you soon.
Bye.